Everyone, welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Sherelle and we do everything on this channel. It's all about lifestyle and making it simple and easy for you to follow. Of course, we are tackling makeup. We're doing a whole makeup series, and of course I've got 16 years experience as a makeup artist, so I'm kind of giving you tips and tricks that can help you win each time when it comes to doing your makeup. On today's video, we are tackling eyeshadow, and eyeshadow is one of those things where of course there's different ways to do it. What is the right way? But I'm going to show you how to do it right every single time you do your makeup, and also how to elevate it when you are kind of going out and you want to kind of take your makeup that extra notch. Okay, so please stay watching and I'm going to show you how in this video. So let's get to it. So the easy way for you to really tackle eyeshadow is really to get palettes. Now the reason why I say to get palettes, because palettes have different shades of colors in there that's going to work for you. It's always sometimes hard to choose eyeshadow if you're just kind of buy one or two products and then you're trying to hope for it to work. It doesn't really work that way, okay? Because there's certain colors you need for it to blend and work for you. As I say, everyone's got a way that they do their own eyeshadow, and my first sort of thing is you need to look at the eye shape. Don't just go in and think I can make my makeup look like someone else's, because your eyes aren't the same as someone else's. Someone may have a bigger eyelid space. Some people may have like a hooded eyelid. So you can't copy someone's eyeshadow if you don't have the same eyeshadow. That doesn't make any sense to me. So that's why I'm very careful when I do demos on here, because I am doing it on myself. And my eyes are different from yours, I'm sure. So it's trickier for me to kind of tell you this is the right way, but I'm going to show you how to get it right on yourself. So we're going to go into the demo and let's get straight to it. So I've got a palette that I picked up from MUA Makeup Academy, and this one's called Amber Sunset, and it's their eyeshadow collection, of course. Now the reason why I got this palette, because if you notice, it's got enough colors for me to just use one palette. It's easy for you to carry around. Most of the palettes I've had in the past are like makeup artist palettes. There's too much, they're too bulky. Just make it simple, people. Just get palettes that are small and easy for you to travel with, and they have the colors already there for you, so you're not having to swap out eyeshadow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and show you how I do it. So at the moment, as you can see, I've got my base, so we're all good to go. What I do for my base is I use my concealer, and then I blend it with a powder brush so that there's no movement on the eyeshadow. Also, if I've got any pigments on the top of my eyelid, what it's going to do is not going to seep through because I've made it one shade. I tend to use concealer. I know a lot of people tend to use different eyeshadow base. I find that a lot of eyeshadow bases are too light. They look white underneath the eye, and I personally don't like that look. I rather it to look like my skin, so that when I'm working on top of it, it just kind of blends and works really well. So do what works for you. So I'm gonna get straight into it. So I have I'm gonna use 3 eyeshadow brushes, okay? And I'm gonna tell you why I'm using 3 eyeshadow brushes, just because it makes your life easy, okay? So I'm gonna start with the first brush. So the smaller the brush is, the easier for you to have control of your eyeshadow. So if you're using a bigger brush and you're struggling and your eyes are a little bit smaller, just swap your brush out to something more flat and something that is smaller. My next brush is my crease brush, and I love this brush. It's probably my favorite brush. I can use a whole eyeshadow with this. So definitely get into something like this. It's going to make your life so much easier, and make sure it fits where you need it to fit, so it's not too big either and it blends really well. Last but not least, make sure you have this kind of brush here. Now this brush can do that, so if you want to make this area a little bit darker, or you want to kind of cut into the corners and change it, just create a little bit of depth, then have a brush like this and just make your life simple. Don't have 10 eyeshadow brushes, because you're going to find it's going to make your life difficult. I feel like a lot of people feel they try to be a makeup artist when it's better to do something basic right than to then use all different products and then it doesn't look right, okay? It's better to make it simple, and this is how you're going to make it simple. So these colors are all beautiful, and now for me personally, I already know where I'm going in, okay? So when you're looking at eyeshadow, I'm looking at this color here. Now this color here is very beautiful because it's a transitional color. Now, the reason why I know this, because if you look at the other colors in the palette, this one is medium tone. This one's light. So I know that that one's going to go here where I want to highlight. And we know this one's a lid color because it's shimmer. We're not going to put the shimmer anywhere else. This one's also a transitional color, so that can go in there and add a little bit of pop of color in your crease. And then this one, of course, is your depth eyeshadow. That's as simple as it goes, okay? So stick to palettes that you can use. And this is what I'm going to do for you right now. So I'm going to go in. Now I might switch places because I've got my mirror here. And I need to make sure, guys, this is as seamless as possible. So I am literally going to just blend. Now, I personally like to use two different mirrors. I'm a mirror, like when I'm doing eyeshadow, really focus on having a mirror so I kind of like to use a mirror like this. And then I like to kind of look in like that. And then I like to look down as well. So I'm very particular because I like a blended eyeshadow. So please do that for yourself. So let's get straight into it. So I'm just going to roll the product, slice and gently back and forth, okay? Back and forth in my crease. See that? Ooh. So you can tap excess and then just stop and then just wipe burn. And another thing to do is if you look down, so I'm looking down and I'm just blending that in and transitioning that in. So just take your time. What you want to do, you just want to blend. You don't need to do anything like fancy. You just want to blend and get that color in. So just take your time. I like to blend sometimes that way, just to make sure it's seamless, and then knock it a little bit into the eyeshadow. I know some people may have their way of doing things, but I personally prefer to do it that way, and then just do that, like blend it that way so it's seamless, okay? So just bring it in. You don't need to do anything fancy, just bring that in. So as you can see, I've transitioned that color, and I just want to go close up to show you guys. If you want a bit more depth, go back in and just hold the product there and just blend, and then you can tilt your head because you want to create that shadow in your crease, okay? It's all about your head position as well. I think a lot of people don't say that enough. If it depends on your eye shape, but you sometimes need to kind of tilt your head back, because if you think of, that's how it's going to make it easy for you to do your eyeshadow. Like, I ain't trying to get anything at the top. I just want to concentrate on getting that in. Now, I always personally start with the crease. Bam. Okay? It's just easier that way. And a really good trick, guys, please listen to this, is because your eyeshadow is going to stay in one place if you do your crease first. Okay? If you do your lid color first and you then go in and transition your eyeshadow, guess what's going to happen, guys? Your eyeshadow is going up here, and we are trying to do that. So always do a crease color first, okay? So I'm just gonna blend that in. Look how seamless that looks. I'm not in belly touching, like I'm just blending that out. Blend, and I'm just taking my time. And it's just, you're flicking the product, but I'm not like moving or over, like some people over blend and you blend away product. I'm just like positioning like my head and just kind of knock it in. Okay, we are all good to go, guys. So the next thing I want to do personally is I want to then use the other shades. And now, because I want to create a little bit of shimmer, create something with my eyes, I'm going to go in with this particular color here, and I'm going to press that into my lid, okay? So just a little bit of dot, press, don't need to over move it, and then dust, okay? And then what you just want to do is just press, okay? So I'm just taking my time, there's no rush. You see, I don't do too much moving around, flapping products around. I just know what I want to do. I can use my hands and do this as well. I don't tend to use a brush because I've got to that stage where I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm trying to put the product. So just do that. Just tap tap and press, okay? And this is good for those who have small eyelids. You might not have the same space eyelid like myself. Don't worry about it. Just press the eyeshadow in where the gap is. You want it to look like a slight, you want to create a slight reflection, okay? So the best thing to do is just press that in, and look at that. And because you've got the transition color already, you're not having to do a lot, because you already know that all you want to do is create a little bit of light in the areas where there's some gaps. Just bring it in. See that? And then you can start adding, if you want to take it up a little bit, that's okay. Just make sure they're all symmetrical on both eyes. Like where you want to put the other one, put it the same. So I'm just gonna make sure they match. Just, that's it, you know. Press, press, press. We good, okay? We good. So now that we've got that done, we want to then concentrate on the darker shade. Now, the darker shade on this one is of course the last color here. So I'm just going to dip the brush on an angle. Angle brush is important because of course if you're trying to create depth, you're going in on an angle. So you really want to just press the brush like here. Okay, and just press. There's not much art to it. I feel like people make eyeshadow so complicated, and it's really not that complicated. You just keep within your guidelines. I'm going to come closer in so you guys can see. So just press. Okay, that is all you need to do. Just go in, and this is going to allow you to create some depth. It's going to create, like, you can start forming your eyeshadow, you can start creating like definition, you can start just kind of bringing the look together, and you know, just press that in. You can see, ooh, let's get in there. And as much as you want, so you see with that one, you can put as much as you want or as little as you want. So you might want more of a softer eye and you don't want to pay too much attention to like changing the look too much. So all you want to do is press. Now, of course, you can see it's just sitting there. Then go in with this brush here and just buff it out. Just buff it out. You're just buffing out lines. That's all you do. You're not blending away the products, so you're not going back over the same part because you don't want the eyeshadow to disappear. So just blend it out. You see that? Like, it's as simple as that. Now, I want to take this look up another level. So I see the orange, and of course the orange is calling me. So I'm going to go in with this orange here just to create a bit more on this part here. I feel like it's missing like a little bit of something on there. So I'm just going to dip my brush in here. If you want to use a different brush, it's entirely up to you. I like everything blended, so I'm happy to do the same brush. So I'm just going to blend. And I'm just keeping my, so this product here, so this part of my eyes, I'm not putting any product on it. I'm keeping it clean. Also, you don't want to drag your eyes down. So you just want a blend, and you can see that's going in. That's gonna create that seamless, and I'm taking up a little bit there because I kind of want to, yeah, I just want to just blend this out a little bit and just emphasize that part here without putting too much. You can see I'm just kind of, if you can see, yeah, just add a little bit of that orange because I want it to still stand out, but I don't want it to take over. Just press that in there. You can also bring it in as well so that the whole look comes together. So just take your time, blend it out, make sure you dust, and then push the product that way. Okay, So you have like a natural gradient, and that's what you want when you're doing your makeup. You want a natural gradient. You want this to show up that a little bit more. So I'm just kind of, and this is the thing about eyeshadow, you can create it the way you want. And I think this is the problem with sometimes this is the right way to do things, this is the wrong way to do things. Sometimes it's down to your preference, and that's okay. Just make sure everything looks well and it's blended. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of going back in because I feel like it needs a little bit of something. So it's good. So yes, we're coming together. So we are coming together. So the eyeshadow itself looks really, really nice, and I can always go back in with this gold color and just like a bit more. Like I might want it to stand out that little bit more, so it just pops a bit. So feel free. Some people like to wet their eyeshadow. I would say just make sure you check that first and see if the product does allow you to wet the eyeshadow, because sometimes you might actually mess up the eyeshadow. So take your time. And then I'm just pressing. You can take that everywhere you want. So I'm just trying to make the gold stand out. And this is really good palette because I love this color. I think this is going to be like my going out palette. So I never really had a going out palette. I tend to have so much eyeshadow to choose from, and to have a palette that I can just kind of go to, guys, I'm not complaining. Okay, so now that we're done with that, I'm literally going to pop on my lashes, kind of do a little bit more, because I'm gonna just take this look and elevate it a little bit more. Okay, I'll see you in the next bit. So now I'm just adding a little bit of definition. I felt like it just needed a little bit of black liner, so I'm loving this black eyeliner. It's really going in there and just creating some definition around my lash line. I find this makes the world of difference when it comes to applying my false lashes, and also creates depth for the actual eyeshadow. I think sometimes you have to use these tips and tricks that's going to allow the eyeshadow to go up another level, and this is what I was saying in regards to kind of taking up the product up another level. What I'm doing is I'm actually smudging it so it blends with the eyeshadow. Sometimes you don't want just those harsh lines, and I think now for myself, when I'm doing my makeup, I tend to like it to be very, very much seamless. So I go in, and of course I'm doing the other eye. And yeah, just take your time when it comes to your eye area, especially when you're going in and you're creating that kind of definition, especially around your lash line, because it can definitely be easy for you to poke your eye out. So you can just see I'm just going in there and blending the lash line. I want it to be blurred and seamless. And it's really, really good to kind of really strengthen this eye makeup, so it's not just eyeshadow. And I feel that this separates if you want to take your makeup that extra level and you want that pro look, this kind of takes it up that level, because most people don't tend to do this. And so yeah, just gonna speed through this bit because I'm just going in because I like it to be even more perfected. Cool. Eyeliner makes the most difference. Okay, so just if you want to create some definition, of course, add some eyeliner to it. I tend not to add eyeliner at the bottom of my eyes, so I'm gonna put my lashes on, finish off this look, guys, and then you will see the whole look put together and it will make sense to you. Okay, I'll go there, guys. So to finish off this look, all you want to do now is make sure that you cover any gaps on the inner eye. So just take your time and just press your pencil in. I'm just going in just to clean this look up, and then just add like just a little bit there, and it's going to create a little bit of a cat eye. It's going to create that, like, just fill in the gaps. So just there. Take your time because your eyes can water. Just press. And that just allows it to look more seamless, looks more put together, and it just creates a little bit of like definition onto the eye. And another thing that I'm going to do just to kind of bring the look together is I'm going to use this colour here. So if you can see, it is the orange one here. So if you can see it on, yeah, so the orange one. And then just going to do that, and then I'm just literally going to run that under the bottom of my eye. So it just finishes up the look and just creates a little bit of definition. Just to tie everything together, because you don't always have to have, like, I personally don't use a lot of eyeliner underneath my eye sometimes because it tends to make me look a little bit tired and closes up my eyes. So I tend to go in with like an orange and I just pull the look together, and then you can see you look bright, you look awake. Just packing a little bit more underneath there so you can see. I just tight line my eye a little bit more, and it just creates that like definition that you don't need to create. And what you can do next is, if you want to be super, you want a bit more, then just literally get your do your mascara on the bottom. Just pull it through so you've got a little bit of something there, so it's not just powder. Set in. Like you've got a little bit of something. So that always works. So this is the final look. Of course, guys, I just kind of matched the look with the eyeshadow, so contoured a little bit and kind of matched the lip. So it's very simple just to play up with the same colors. So on this tutorial, what we did was we had a palette, we knew what the colors were and how to use them, and then created this kind of flawless, easy peasy look that you can wear to any occasion. Of course, I went in with some eyeliner just on the top here where the lashes are, just to create a little bit of definition. And of course, you know, you can always take the makeup up another level, get some lashes. You can also add some eyeliner a little bit on there. But this is the look, guys. Of course, if you like all the videos that you watch here, subscribe. There's no point just watching and leaving. This is a community. It's all about you asking questions, and obviously I will do my best to make sure I get you makeup tutorials that are simple and easy for you to follow, and that you look like a pro when it comes to your makeup, okay? So take care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.